Thank you, everybody, for joining me here, 10 Minute Trades, for our Black Friday webinar. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the Trading Director at 10 Minute Trades, and I want to thank you for joining me today. It's a very enjoyable week, holiday week in the US. Just remember, please, that it is possible to lose money trading futures, so trade carefully. And I want to give you a little bit of a heads up who we are, talk about what 10 Minute Trades is all about. And then if you stick around to the end, there is going to be an unbelievable Black Friday offer that you will not believe. So at 10 Minute Trades, we've been around for 9 years, really going on 10. We started as JoeBracketBreakout.com. One of our partners, Jay Offner, started the company in Hawaii, and he started as a hobby. And as it grew and it became more serious, we changed our name to thenewstraders.com for a very short period of time. And then we realized 10 Minute Trades makes the most sense. And about 6 years ago, we went with that. And we have stayed with that name for a very long time. We never had to change our name because people didn't like us or because we got in trouble with the Securities and Exchange Commission. No issues like that. You can Google all our names and you won't find any complaints about us at all. Very transparent. Everything we do, we show you in our trade room, and we are really enjoying all the education that we've brought to you over the past 9 years. And I've been here literally for eight of the 9 years. When I first started trading the news, I was looking around for a company that had software to trade news, and that's how I found the people at 10 Minute Trades. Well, Joe Bracket Breakout, they were called. They had this software to trade the news. I wrote them multiple emails to hire me, and eventually, after about 3 emails, they hired me, and they didn't have a trade room in those days. So I convinced them, let me open a trade room, and I opened a Ninja Trader account with my own money, and I was so into doing this that I traded the first 6 months or so with my own account, my own money, until we got all set up and started as, a regular trade room educator. And that was probably more than 8 years ago. And ever since then, we've been upgrading our software every year, increasing the methods in which we trade. When we first started out, we just traded news only. And now we trade news, we trade after the news, we trade before the news. But the main purposes and the main methods that we use are still the same. We trade on a schedule. Almost all of the trading we do is around a very specific schedule. And that means no matter what, even though we do trade discretionary, we don't spend the whole day watching charts waiting for opportunities to arise. We look at the schedule and we know in advance what the opportunities are, and those are the ones that we trade. So we study the opportunities and try to find the best of the best. We are now a Ninja Trader partner. That means that we have worked very hard to get Ninja Trader to look at the way that we trade, the way that we talk to our members, and the way that we advertise to our customers. And we have to follow certain rules of behavior. We can't obviously exaggerate about how we're doing, and we have to be very honorable because we are a Ninja Trader partner, and we take that responsibility very seriously. At 10 Minute Trades, like I said, we use the system called appointment-based trading. We use the Ninja Trader platform, and we trade futures. So when we talk about trading earnings, we're trading futures on stock earnings. We devised a fantastic methodology to trade earnings using futures, and it's a great way to trade. One of our favorite systems is trading stock earnings. But the clever way that we're doing it is we are using the futures markets to leverage the stock movement. Because when you think about it, earnings are no different than a GDP report or an FOMC statement. They're just an excuse for the market to move and be volatile. And the way that we work is we take advantage of that volatility. We have a system that has four main elements: the WMM weekly schedule, the DMM trade reports, trade room, and our software. We also have a MagnaTrade software. Our software is actually made up of three separate strategies. Now, we have a lot of people that are going to be starting new in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to go over some things as if you were a new member. Starting the beginning of the week on Sundays, we email all of our members our schedule. And the WMM, the weekly market mover, is what we call our schedules. On the schedule, it has the time of the event that we're trading, when our trade room opens, the time it opens, if we have a trade room for that event. Not all events on the schedule have a trade and a trade room. The name of the event we're interested, we put instrument we might be considering trading on that event, the risk, and whether or not that event has a daily trade report. So our weekly schedule is the way we start. The week begins by looking at the schedule, figuring out when we're going to be in the trade room, and then deciding if those events are worth trading. Not everything, just because it has a trade room, means we will trade it. Sometimes the market says, don't trade this event. Sometimes the event says, I've been performing poorly, don't trade me now. So we look at all the events that we schedule, and if they're not behaving well means giving you an opportunity for profit, then we don't want to trade poorly behaved events. One of my favorite events, this is an example of the daily market mover, one of our favorite events is the WASDE report. The WASDE report is a grain report. Most people don't even know what it is and what it means, but it's no different than trading the mini S&P. It's no different than trading the YM futures. It's just that on the WASDE report, you're trading grains, you're trading corn, or you're trading the soybean futures. But they move and react exactly the same way that any other futures market behaves. So it's not like because you're trading grains that you have to learn a whole new way of trading. Futures are futures. So when we go into the trade room, it only takes a couple of minutes to set your chart up, for instance, for the WASDE report. If you look at last night I decided to take a trade on the New Zealand rate statement. That's an instrument, that's an event that often moves the New Zealand currency futures. Most people don't even know what the New Zealand currency futures are. But if you look at our trade video, I happened to record this trade last night, and it really doesn't look any different than if I were trading gold. And in fact, on the right side of my chart, I had two charts set up. The New Zealand currency futures on the left, and I was watching gold on the right. What happens is in all trades, and the reason trades work is the news comes out at the expected time. This was an 8 o'clock event that took place last night. The news came out. New Zealand lowered their rate as expected. Initially, there was no movement in the instrument. Our software puts the orders on the chart. There was no movement for the first 10 or 15 seconds. Then all of a sudden, you see this candle starts to grow. And it starts moving and growing and getting bigger. And now it's put me in the market. And now it's going to hit my first target and give me a profit. And it keeps going up and up. And as it keeps going up, I'm making more and more money because I'm in the market up on the long side. And I'm able to trail my stop further and further into profit. That's the way a very simple trade works, whether you're trading grains or the New Zealand currency futures or the NQ futures. It's all basically the same just some of the instruments are different. So there's never any reason to worry that you can't do this because you're not familiar with some of the futures that we trade. In a matter of just a few minutes, you'll be able to deal with different instruments that you never traded before. Now, we have software that is a custom strategy add-on for the NinjaTrader platform, meaning our software installs into the NinjaTrader system. Our software has multiple setups, reversals, breakouts, spike trades. All of those are built into our software. Our software can automate a trade. It can automatically put orders on the chart, or it can allow you to put the orders on the chart and you can enter when you want to. Other times we enter using time, or we enter using a range, automatically or semi-automatically. When we say semi-automatically, what that means is maybe the software puts our orders on the chart, for instance, at 8 o'clock, but we then manage our exit of the trade. It puts us in the market, but we manage when we want to get out. Sometimes you don't hit your target immediately and you actually manage the trade. So that might be called a semi-automatic trade. Also, we have a trade room, and in our trade room, our members can talk to each other, communicate. We stream our charts into the trade room, and people share ideas and have two-way conversation in the trade room. And that's the most between software and the trade room. Those are the two most important elements that make up our whole system. So just looking briefly at the NinjaTrader charts. These are the charts right now in the current markets, which are still open. They're quiet today because we are on a holiday and everybody's getting out of here now and getting ready for the holidays, but these are the markets. Our software is very easy to call up our software. You just right-click the chart, click the word strategy, and then on the left side, I've got 3 different strategies that we've installed into NinjaTrader. We have our News Trader suite, and when we when we turn on the News Trader suite, we have our breakout trade, we have our range trade, and we also have something called the reversal continuation trade, one of the most popular ways we trade. Those are 3 very popular setups that we use in our trade room probably about 80% of the time. Then we also have the trap trade. The trap trade is a reversal type trade, and that we just call up by clicking the trap trade on the left. And in order to make the software work, all we have to do is put in numbers or the time, how many ticks do you want for your target. It's not very complicated, and it's actually quite easy. And then, of course, we have our third strategy, what's now becoming one of our favorite strategies, and that's the magnet strategy. We have an upgrade coming to the magnet strategy. We're hoping in a week or so, I'd say 2 weeks or so. Version 2.0 is a very, very big upgrade to our magnet strategy. When you turn on our magnet strategy, it's really very simple. I'll explain how it works. First, I'll just put it up here. So first you have to understand what is a magnet. All right, and a magnet is an area on the chart that attracts price. So why do these areas attract price? Because lots of traders look at these same areas. So we look at the high of day, we look at the VWAP, that's a very popular level that lots of traders look at, and we can also have our own custom levels. But the idea of the magnet is we are going to take a trade that exits when it tests the magnet. Look at what's going on right now in the NQ. It's getting ready right at this moment to test the magnet trade. So we have this strategy. I can set it to automatic, and if the NQ keeps going up and pierces this heavy line, which I can move also. So you could control where you get filled. It's a very powerful strategy. But if it pierces this line, it will trade to the high of day or further as our trade. And that high of day is a magnet. Now I'm going to leave it on while I'm talking and doing the webinar. And we'll see for fun if the NQ goes to the high of day, which it often does. It's very bullish today. There's a big possibility it'll test that level, burst through it, and then go and test the high of the day, and it would be a winning trade. There, it just filled us, and it is pushing, starting to push to the upside. Here's our target, and you can move your target. All of our trades are manageable. You can move your targets. You can move your stop and make your stop bigger. So if it goes against you a little bit, you could look for levels on the chart that make sense where you want your stop to be. And you can make your trade as safe as humanly possible. So we'll see what happens. We don't have to watch this trade. You can do that when you join and spend time in our trade room. But multiple setups is what makes our software so interesting. Magnet trades, breakout trades, reversal trades, continuation trades. All of these setups we teach you how to do. And even if you don't trade the news, you can use our software as a standalone product because it is discretionary trading. If you notice, I decided I wanted to take this test of the high. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken the trade. Completely discretionary. News trades are a little different, and we'll get into that in a minute. Let me put my slides back on. So the way that we do things is you can schedule your trades on specific days at specific times up to a week in advance. Everything that we do is on a schedule. Remember, we have our weekly schedule. We know when we're going to be in the trade room, and all of our events are scheduled around market moving events that we're looking to get a profit from. So what actually triggers an appointment-based trade? I showed you one possible trigger, a test of a high or a low level. Magnet trades, very, very popular way to trade. We also have high impact economic reports, GDP, housing starts, how are home sales doing, home sale reports. Those are economic reports. They move markets. Big company earnings reports, plenty of trades where we're trading fantastic earnings trades. And market open and close trades. We do market opens every day. And then when we do earnings, we often do the end of the day market close trades. So there's all sorts of different types of trades for all sorts of different types of traders. Hundreds of triggers within these categories that you can pick and choose which ones you want to schedule. So if you work a full-time job and you only have an hour during the day or a couple of hours in between, your lunchtime or your afternoon, you could look at our schedule, see if you could find some trades that fit your schedule that day, and you could just trade with us a few minutes a day and then go back to your regular job. So lots of people use us if they're part-time traders, and then also lots of people use us if they're full-time traders. We find our trades using the various economic calendars that are available free on the market. Forex Factory, investing.com, and all of the calendars work in a similar manner. They give you a listing of all the popular events that we see in the markets, and we vet all these events carefully, and we choose the events that give us the highest probability of being profitable events. We study them. In other words, there are events that just don't trade that well. They just haven't been profitable over an extended period of time. So we don't recommend trading those. And we had one of those events this morning. The jobs unemployment claims on Wednesday. Well, really, it's a Thursday event. They were trading on a day they don't normally trade, which is, a red flag. But there are certain events that they just don't perform well. We know they don't perform well, so we don't recommend that people trade them. And then there are events that are excellent to trade. and those are the ones we trade. The ADP report, the CPI reports. Those are the ones we pick, the ones we like to trade. Earnings on Amazon and Home Depot. Some of those are great trading reports. So this is forexfactory.com. All of the calendars list lots of events. We have studied all these events over the years, and we teach you how to figure out which events you may want to how to find the events, and then by spending time with us in our trade room, we show you the events that should give us the highest probability for profits each week in our trade room. This is investing.com, and they don't all have the same events, so we use multiple calendars to get all the popular market moving events into our schedule. The ones that we think are the most important, those are the events that we get into our room and teach our members how to trade. The idea is to use software and back test the events. Make believe that you're trading that event as it happened a month ago. The NinjaTrader platform has a feature called playback. So you can go back in time and replay an event using our software. That ability to replay or backtest allows us to vet all these events and find the best performing ones. And that's how we find these trades. We also have various tools that we use when we're trading the markets. For instance, last night on that New Zealand trade, now look, our NQ trade, it's just being very quiet because the markets are quite quiet today. They are getting ready to close. But it really hasn't moved all that much from where we got in. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I was going to show you another tool that we use to help us decide whether an event might be worth trading. So last night, we were looking at the New Zealand rate statement. All right, they changed their rate last night at 8 p.m. So if you go back to 8 p.m., and understand that there are certain tools that you can use to help you figure out how to trade an event. And I'll show you one of the tools that we use. So when I go back to 8 p.m. and I look at the spike, for instance, that this news made. Look at the spike that this news made. So how do you figure out how big that spike was and whether or not it's worth trading? So in NinjaTrader, there's this little pencil. If you click on that pencil and click on the ruler and then just simply measure from the top to the bottom of the candle, it gives you how many spikes that news event moved on that news release. When the news came out last night, the New Zealand futures moved 56 points, 56 ticks. So if you go back 2 or 3 or 4 New Zealand rate statements and just keep a file how many spikes, what the spikes were on that particular event, it gives you very simple numbers that you can look at to create a trade setup. If we know that it averages 60 ticks every time it releases their earnings or their rate is changed, then we can set up a breakout trade to try and capture 30 or 40 ticks of profit. So we use the ruler, we use the pencil and the ruler together to help us analyze trades that have taken place. Then we can use the playback tool. It's just a very simple tool in NinjaTrader that allows us to go back in time and retrade an event so we could then test our setup. That's how you find and create the best trades using news events and market moving events. That's called back testing, and it's something we do on a regular basis. Every week we're testing trades, updating our setups, and coming up with what we feel are the best setups to make the most profits on these events. So these reports work because when the news is released, the news is different from the expected news. The actual news differs from the expected news. That difference causes the market to move, and our software takes advantage of those market moves. With an appointment-based trade, we're bracketing the trade. We will put our orders above the price, below the price, and then when the market explodes, like you saw in that New Zealand trade, it pulls us into the market. Let me show you an earnings trade that we took with Home Depot very recently. Home Depot is a trade called a breakout trade, another event that we study very, very well. And some of our earnings trades are some of our best trades. There are quite a few tools that we use and teach our members how to use in the trade room. There is free TradingView. We watch the actual stock price using free TradingView. You don't have to buy TradingView to look at stock results when they have their earnings. We also use Thinkorswim. Thinkorswim, for the big amount of $50, you can open a Thinkorswim account and get live market data on futures and options and stocks. We use it for a particularly important feature, the live news release. Thinkorswim shows us exactly when earnings are released because they don't always follow what they print as their release date or release time. So we have this special little chart that we get from Thinkorswim by being a legitimate Thinkorswim trader for $50 for the whole year, and it's really for life. You can keep $50 in your Thinkorswim account and you can get access to this news. It's like a little widget that shows us the news results, and we use that for our earnings trades. And then our software sets up the breakout. Home Depot was a fantastic breakout. Price, watch what happens to the price. 10 seconds, we're looking at the markets 10 seconds before the news came out. When I first started testing, I used the NinjaTrader playback tool to replay this trade in time. Our software puts the orders on the chart. That explosion pulled us into the market live in the morning, and every single member that traded that Home Depot report made quite a bit of money. We made over $400 on that trade. The trade took about 10 seconds, if that. It burst down. We were able to move our stop into safety so we could trail, and it was a great trade. Many of our earnings trades behave that way, and they are excellent, profitable trades. You could see why we call ourselves 10-minute trades. Most trades we're going to take, we're going to spend less than 10 minutes in a trade. Most of the time, we're going to spend less than 3 or 4 minutes in a trade. So everything we do is based on the trade event, and we're finding the highest probability of events that move the market, and they give us the highest probability of a successful trade. Our absolute favorite trades, we call them family money trades. Family money trades are trades that we would trade our own money, our own family's money. And it sort of started out as kind of a little bit of a joke between myself and my daughter. I say, hey, let me have your money. I'll trade your money on this Home Depot earnings trade. It's so good, I'll trade your money. And I'll make money for you, and then I'll give it back to you. And that's how we came up with the name Family Money Trades. And we put our family money icon on our schedule so people know what we think are the best of the best trades. The real honest truth is coming into our trade room is the best thing that you can do. But first, you have to get started. And a lot of folks are going to get started this week joining us because I have an offer today that you're not going to believe. So the first thing you want to do is set up an account. You come in, you get signed up, and then it lets you set up an account using this little simple screen. You just type in your email, give it a password, confirm your password, and create your account. Once you do that, using the link that we send you, then you can access the member area on our website. So let me show you that. Our system, when you become a member, does not automatically create your account for you. So you want to make sure you create your own account so you have a password and you can log in to the member area. And we send you this link. So you don't have to worry about what this link is. When you become a member, we send it to you. Navigating the member area. So very simple. There's a link, 10minutetrades.com/log on, okay, or log in. You'll have that link as well. And then you use your email and your password to access the member area. So let me show you what the member area looks like. Give me half a second. I don't want to give away my password. So I'll log in. I'll show you the member area. And the reason we're doing this is because so many new people have joined up with us in the past couple of weeks, will be joining up with us over the next few weeks. And if you have this simple reference, it makes life very easy. So once you log in to the member area, then you have access to all of the pieces of your subscription. Now I can see everything because I'm the administrator. When you're a member, you might only see the trade room or the daily market movers or the software and the pro trade room. So all you do every week, we put our password up in the pro trade room. You click pro trade room and then the schedule, and it shows you the password. It shows a video of our weekly schedule. Every week we make a weekly video schedule, and you can also download our printed schedule. Download the weekly market mover. You just click it, and there it is. It's a Google Drive file. You just click on the little arrow up here in the right, and it downloads the file for you. Most people don't realize, because we email all our reports, but sometimes emails don't get to where they're going. In this day and age, because of all the security and spam and just all the problems with email, sometimes members don't get the most important emails they need, the trade reports. We put them on our website, so all you have to do is log into the website when you create your account, and then you can download your software, NewsTrader software, click download. All the files are there. The NewsTrader for NT8, the Trap Trade for NT8, and the Magnet Trade download. Those are the 3 downloads. There's a video. You could click on this video so you can watch a video on how to download and install the software onto your computer. It's extremely easy and doesn't take more than a couple of minutes. Also, you can have access to the daily market movers, the trade reports. Click Daily Market Mover, click DMM, download current DMM. Here's today's trade report. If you don't want to download it, you could just look through it. No problem. If you want to download it, once again, Google Drive file, just click the down arrow and it'll put it on your computer. When you download a file on your computer, the most important thing you need to know is, where's that file going? Usually, files will go to your download folder. But if you've saved a file to somewhere different, for instance, if you saved a file to your desktop, then all your most recent downloads may go to your desktop. So it is important to know where your files are going when you download them. Believe it or not, sometimes people don't know that. Then we have a quick start area. There's a whole bunch of videos about our software, some old videos about the old Trap Trade that are worthwhile to watch. All sorts of info. We have trade room recordings, all sorts of great videos that you can take advantage of in our member area. So I highly recommend, when you become a member, if you're a member now, familiarize yourself with the member area. All right? Easy to do, not a problem. Let's keep going. All right. We use the NinjaTrader platform for our trading, all right? Like I said, we are a NinjaTrader partner, but we don't make money if you use NinjaTrader. We don't tell you to use NinjaTrader because we're getting paid for it, okay? NinjaTrader is the platform we chose because we love that platform, and it's the best platform to use for trading the way that we trade. And our software installs into the NinjaTrader platform. When you become a member, we send you the 3 files you need to download to install our software into NinjaTrader. They are zip files. You do not unzip them. You just import them into NinjaTrader. And we have a PDF that we send to all our members when they're getting started that has very clear and simple instructions on how to get going. If you have a problem, you can always come into our trade room and I'll show you one-on-one in the room how to do anything that you need to learn to do so that you can get started trading with us at 10-Minute Trades. We will show you what to do in the trade room if you're confused, if you don't know what to do. All right? So remember, the trade room is very important. Now, the other thing that we do, it's important to set up your charts just like ours. And I'm going to do a very quick run through of how to set up your charts because I've got many different webinars teaching you how to do this. Where are the setups? All right, how do you call up the software? How do you make adjustments? How do you sync your computer? These are very important things that you need to know. So first things first, how do you make your charts look like mine? So you go to New, and you go to Chart, and now you go to Instrument up at the top. Choose an instrument. Let's just choose the MNQ because it's there. And we're going to leave everything the way it is. It's a 30-second chart. The trading hours, use instrument settings. Everything's going to stay the way it is. Just okay it. The only thing you want to check, just make sure that the number of days to load is no more than 3 or 4. If you try to load 30 or 40 days of data, it will slow down NinjaTrader. So we now okay it, and we're going to get a brand new chart. Usually it'll throw it on a different monitor, and you just have nothing really on the chart. Sometimes it will put the chart trader on it, which is this area on the right. This is the icon up top for chart trader. Hang on, let me fix that. Let me bring my chart back. Hang on one second, I just erased my chart by accident. So let's bring it back. All right, so here's our chart. Now, this icon, this icon here is called Chart Trader. Chart Trader has some simple configurations that we make to it. The icon here is what turns Chart Trader off and on. It's up at the top here. Easy to turn Chart Trader on. Also, the candles, there are times when NinjaTrader makes changes to the platform, and the candles sometimes look a little bit different. When you click on Data Series, right-click Data Series, go down to Chart Style, and turn off Outline and Wick Match and apply it. Okay it. Now the chart candles look just like ours. Okay. If you want to make the charts smaller, hold the mouse button down at the bottom where the numbers are and scroll right or left. If you want to make your chart higher or lower, hold down the left mouse button and do the same, up and down on the numbers. So we want to put a certain amount of indicators and important things on the chart that we use for our trading. If you right-click the chart and click on indicators, we're going to put about 3 or 4 indicators on the chart very quickly that we use every day. We're going to use, first off, current day, open, high, low. Current day, OHL. Double click it. You don't have to do anything else except double click it, apply it, and OK it. Now, on these charts, you're going to see lines. The green is the high of the day. When we go down lower, the red is the low of the day, and then the orange is the recent open the evening before. Then we're going to put pivots. Right-click, click on indicators, click on pivots. We're going to put pivots on the chart. Double-click pivots, apply it and okay it, and now we have pivots on the chart. We look at pivots. They are price levels that lots and lots of traders look at. That's why we look at them. Remember, we trade magnets. Magnets are important. Pivots are magnets. Then we're going to put volume on the chart. We're going to go indicators, volume up, down. Going to scroll through the list of indicators. All these indicators, by the way, are free. Volume up, down, apply it, and okay it. We have a nice volume up, down indicator. And then we're going to put a squeeze indicator on. And we have a squeeze indicator that if you become a magnet trader, we're going to include the squeeze indicator in our magnet software version 2.0 now. So we put our squeeze on, apply it, and okay it. We do something to the colors that's important. And then sometimes when you put the squeeze on, it does this to the bars. They're all the same height. And if you go back into the properties and turn on auto scale or turn off auto scale, it will fix the squeeze and make it look perfectly correct. All right. So I just shrunk our chart a little bit. So we've got volume on the chart. We've got the squeeze on the chart. We've got our candles on the chart, of course. Highs of days, lows of days. And there's another thing that we put on. Indicators, net change display. It's a very nice indicator that helps us to determine trend. It's very simple. Net change display, just double click it. I like to put it most of the time on ticks for its measure of judgment, its judgment, the way that it measures, and location, bottom right. Bottom right. And all it is a number. When the market is moving, it generates a number. If it's green, like it is today, it's over 1,000 ticks. The NQ is very bullish. If it's red, it would be a bearish, possibly a bearish day. Just one level of seeing what the market is. You want to look a little deeper to make sure what your trend is, but that's a very good first step in understanding what the trend of a current market might be. Those indicators we put on the chart. One more important one, and we're going to be including a VWAP with every squeeze setup as well in our squeeze 2.0 indicator. The VWAP is a very important indicator. Why is it important? Because again, tons and tons of traders look at it. So it's a level that gets tested over and over and over throughout the day. The VWAP is very important to our magnet trade, and we're often taking trades that exit when it gets to the VWAP, and that's what a magnet trade does. It exits at a level that is popular and pulls price to it. That is setting up our charts. Then we have a couple of extra things that we look at that are very important. We have a clock that our traders use called Topmost Clock, and we give you the file so that you could put the clock on your chart. All you do is double click the chart. It's just a little exe file, and it allows you to move the clock around so that it could be on your trading charts. Because remember, it's very important for us to know what time it is. And it's also very important to know whether or not we're in sync. We don't want to take trades if our computer is out of sync with the world clock. If there's a trade taking place exactly at 4 p.m. when news gets released, that news may be released exactly at 4 p.m. with no leeway, maybe a nanosecond. So if your computer is 2 or 3 seconds early or late, you need to be able to sync it. So we have a website that we teach our members to go to called time.is. Time.is is the name of the website. You go to that website and it checks your computer to see if your computer's in sync or not. If it's not in sync, we have a free program we give to you. You install it on your computer, and all you do is click it, and it shows you whether or not your computer's in sync. It's a little program. It shows up like this. Let me show you what it looks like. It gives you a screen that looks like this. It has a Sync Now button, and you just press the Sync Now button a bunch of times. You watch the synchronized line to make sure it's putting you in sync by changing synchronized, and then you just go back to a fresh browser, go back to time.is to check to make sure that the sync program put you in sync. It's not very complicated, but it's very worthwhile and very important to make sure that your computer is in sync. All right. So how do we call up our strategy after we've installed our software into the program, into NinjaTrader? It's very easy. You just right-click the chart, click the word strategy, and then, for instance, if I wanted to put a trade on right now for the end of the day, and it was a breakout trade, I would double-click NewsTrader. I would already, breakout is chosen because it's the default. I would put the time in that I want the trade to put the brackets on the chart. I tell the software how big is the bracket. I tell the software how many contracts per position do you want to trade and what's the stop. Not that complicated. I choose whether it's a breakout, whether it's a reversal, whether it's a continuation. I have a time that I'm going to trade it, and I have a bracket, and I'll show you what happens. We then choose an account to trade in. We give the trade a name, and I'm going to call it bracket, and I'm going to apply it, okay it, and then it shows up in the control panel. Here it is. I can turn it on. It's got a 30 bracket. Remember? A 30 bracket. Now, when I turn it on, it should, when it starts to trade, if I did everything properly, it'll turn on. So let me make sure that I put my time on 0. We've got a breakout trade, and that we are on sim, and let's see what's going on here. And there's our brackets. 30 ticks in between the current price, which is the arrow, and a long entry. There's a long entry. If it goes through that X, it puts me into the market. If it goes down, it'll put me into the market short. And that's a simple bracket trade. How long did that take me to do? It took me less than a minute to put that trade on the charts. So all you need to do is learn how to put the numbers into the software to trade a very wide variety of different setups. Magnets, reversals, trap trades, breakouts, spike trades, the earnings trades, all sorts of setups that we teach our members how to do. It's very, very easy. Okay. Why do I love the magnet trade so much? Because magnets are always and forever. It's the one thing that we say, never use the words always and forever. Because in trading, everything is always different. Nothing is always. The market always changes. But what's always and forever about magnets? Since the beginning of time, people have been looking at the magnet trades. They've been looking at highs of days and lows of days, and they've been testing those areas with their orders. So what we've done is we've automated it. We've made it so any level on the chart that you think is a magnet, you could set up a trade. Here we have a high of a day. Our software has an automation mode. It's going to fill by going through this heavy line. It puts us in the market long. And then when it actually goes to the magnet level, that's when we make our money. It chops a little bit, price bops around, and then boom, it goes up right through the magnet, giving us a profitable trade. Magnets happen over and over again on many, many different levels. Highs of day, lows of day, VWAP, Fibonacci levels. If you like using custom indicators, you can use your custom indicators. PP pivots, all right, S1, S3, all those areas can be magnets, and you can set up our magnet software to work with any level you want. Or we have built-in system for the high of day, low of day, for the VWAP, PP, and a couple of other indicators as well. And like I said, version 2 is on the verge of being released. We're very, very close. So let me show you a couple of real trades to make you interested in wanting to be a member at 10-Minute Trades. Very recently, we traded Home Depot earnings, and our members did really well. I showed you our trade. Our trade was a very quick burst in the market. Once again, we know when Home Depot is releasing their earnings. We know that for years we've been trading Home Depot, and very seldom have we had losing trades with Home Depot. We had a recent period where we had a couple of losing trades, and then our most recent trades now with Home Depot have been big, big winners because they almost always go back to the mean. A big explosion, a big profit, taking advantage of that move. Our members send us their screenshots, and their screenshots show the profits they made on Home Depot. Almost $500 for Nitin on the YM and over $100 on the MYM. That's fantastic to make over $100 on micros. That's a very, very good trade. One of our favorite traders, Roz, is trading in Kenya. Made over $500 on that Home Depot trade. And you can see it. This is her screenshot of her real account. I took her account number out. Over $500 on the recent Home Depot trade. And that was only about 10 days ago, that Home Depot trade. Members are trading McDonald's earnings. McDonald's is a stock that we've been looking at their earnings, and we've been liking trading them. We don't care if McDonald's is struggling, if people aren't buying food at McDonald's, because look, it just means the price is going to go down when they do their earnings if the earnings are lousy, and we're going to take advantage of that gigantic move to the downside, and we're going to make a couple of $100 on that trade. All we have to do is get up early in the morning to take that trade, and we take that trade in our trade room. And then one of the best earnings trades we took, and just by fluke, I'm showing you earnings trades, but I showed you some magnet trades, and I showed you, let me show you a market open trade. So here's the market open. We have an MNQ trade right here on the left. It immediately hit my first target, and then sometimes it'll continue and then hit my second target, letting me trail. Here I was able to move my stop to safety and keep trailing down as it keeps moving into more and more profit. Those are our favorite types of trades, when you can trail, trail, and trail. This was a market open where the price kept going in the same direction, and it allowed us to keep moving our stop for more and more profit. That's not a rare occurrence. Those types of trades happen quite often. And when they happen, our members send us their screenshots of their profits. $172 on the MNQ on that exact trade. That's a lot of money on micros. Not trading more than 3 contracts on micros. That was a great trade. And that was from Francis in the UK. Then we have something called trap trades. Trap trades are really cool. Once again, remember, we're studying market events. We're figuring out which are the best market events to trade. Existing homes is one of our favorites. But existing homes is funny. It reverses. We don't like trading existing homes in one direction. When the news comes out, I want to go the opposite direction of the spike. Here's what happened when we traded existing homes last week. The news came out. It chopped around a little bit. Our trap trade puts 2 orders above the price, 2 orders below the price. If the price goes down through the order, we buy the market. We don't go short, we go long. If it goes up through the order, we sell the market. That's exactly what happened on this trade. We were trading gold futures, which are crazy choppy these days, by the way. And they just mean that we have to have better setups, smarter setups. We got filled. It went through both our orders down, meaning we were long 2 gold contracts. Our upper orders now become targets, so we shrink them in a little bit and we wait for our reversal to take place. Remember, we study existing homes, we expect it to reverse, and when it reverses, we're going to make our money. It does exactly what we thought. It takes the reversal, and now I'm able to move my stop to profit and trail as it's doing the reversal until it takes me out of the trade. And that was quite a few, over $300 in profit, trading a trap trade or reversal on existing home sales. Seeing is believing. I could spend hours showing you winning trades. Now look, I'm not a fraud. We all know every trade is not a winner. The idea is to trade the events that give us the best probabilities of finding winners. And when you have a loser, you move on, forget about it, and move on to the next setup, because that's how it works. So I would love to have everybody join us for the holidays. This is all of December. I'm going to make you all an unbelievable offer. An offer we've not made in many, many, many years. You're going to become a full pro trade room, a full Magnet 2.0 pro trade room member. Pro membership includes everything. If the new magnet is released in December, you will get access to the new magnet. I do believe it will be released. No matter what, you have our existing magnet software, which is phenomenal, our existing news trader, all of our strategies, all of our trade rooms, all of our daily trade reports, all of our weekly schedules, all the education that we do in our trade room. You are a member and you will be part of it for the whole month of December. Pro Trade Room subscription, our trap trade, our magnet trade. You can trade in prop accounts. You can trade with cash accounts. We have a very special Black Friday offer. This is for people that are not currently members. If you're currently a member, you're making money with us as we speak. If you're not currently a member, you can take advantage of our Black Friday offer, $1 for all of December. This expires Saturday night at midnight. Just www.gotrial10.com. Gotrial10.com. It renews after 30 days for $97 a month. You can cancel by sending us a simple email, and I will give you that email address in a minute. We just ask that you send an email before the billing takes place for the next month. That's the only requirement. You must send us an email before the billing takes place. We will guide you step by step in all the trade rooms what to do. You get absolutely everything that's part of our Pro Magnet 2.0 Pro membership, the News Trader software suite, the Magnet strategy, the Trap Trade strategy, daily market movers, trade room access, all the trade rooms, earnings trade rooms, absolutely everything. $1 for 30 days. Folks, is ridiculous. This is our Black Friday deal. Expires Saturday at midnight. Everything that you get, like I said, the News Trader, Magnet Trade, we will teach you the whole appointment-based trading system. Our earnings trade rooms, www.gotrial10.com. A couple of questions that people are always asking. Does our software work if you're not using NinjaTrader? So you need to be using NinjaTrader, okay? You have to use NinjaTrader. Does your software work on any other? Can you trade the news? Absolutely can trade the news. Can you trade in a prop account? Absolutely can trade in a prop account. Now, www.gotrial10.com. I apologize, I forgot to erase a couple of our older links on the bottom. Just make sure you have the right link, www.gotrial10.com. The deal with prop accounts, just need to choose companies that let you trade the way that we trade, and there are many. Can you trade earnings? Yes, we do trade selected stock earnings with our system. We use futures. All right, we have invented a unique way of trading selected stock earnings using futures. They are some of our absolutely most profitable trades, and we'll teach you how to do this. And we're only charging $1 for the whole month of December. What if you have trouble installing our software? We have step-by-step videos in our member area. They walk you through the entire installation. If you need one-on-one help, I'll walk you through it in the trade room. We do it in the trade room so everyone can watch and learn from it. What if you need help after installing the software? That's why we include 30 days of the trade room in this trial. So you can see the software in action, come and watch us set up for trades, learn how to use your software the way that we use it, so you can be sure you want to continue being a member when the trial is up. And we know you will want to be a member. That's why we're willing to let you try it for $1. Is this a subscription? Will I be automatically charged in 1 month when the trial ends? This is an auto-renew subscription. It will renew for $97 a month. You can easily cancel by sending an email to help@10minutetrades.com. Just send that email before the trial period is up. That's the only thing that we ask. Help@10minutetrades.com. Is there a guarantee? If you are a 10-Minute Trades member, we have a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. We take all the risk. Stay a member for 30 days. Trade with me live in the trade room for a full 30 days. Take at least 3 trades a week. Use the system. You can't just take the system, never do anything, and say you want your money back. Take some action. Give it a shot. Trade 3 times a week with me in the trade room. Keep a simple journal documenting your trades. If you follow our system and aren't satisfied with your results, send us your trade journal at the end of the 30 days and we'll refund your subscription. Now that does not mean the dollar. The dollar is non-refundable. Let's not be silly, all right? How do I get coaching and support? 3 ways. I will help you live in the trade room. We're there up to 10 hours a week. Other members help in the trade room also. The trade room's always open. You can also email us, help@10minutetrades.com. So sign up, $1 for all of December, www.gotrial10.com. One good trade can often pay for months of a pro membership. What are you waiting for? This is an awesome, awesome, awesome deal. Go pro for $1. This offer expires Saturday at midnight. www.gotrial10.com. I want to thank everybody for spending time with us during this webinar. I hope you learned something about appointment-based trading and news-based trading. You'll really learn if you spend December with us for $1, and we hope that you'll take us up on this offer, and I'll see you all in the trade room. And thanks for joining, and appreciate your spending time with us on this holiday. I hope you all have a great holiday season. So thank you very much. And you know where I'll see you, in the trade room. Take care, everyone.